Do you think about the gifts in your life? What do you consider the real blessings?
Now, you probably would never answer this question with an abusive relationship, but our guest today is proof that living a nightmare can sometimes turn into a defining moment in your life in the most positive way. And joining us this morning to talk all about it, Janet Pfeiffer. She's a motivational speaker and author of The Secret Side of Anger. Welcome to our show.
Well, hi. It's so nice to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. We're so glad you're here because you have such a moving story, and you are moving mountains with that story. And if you could be so kind to tell us, what exactly did you live? Something that Beth and I don't think we can relate to be honest. And how did you turn it around, and what was your defining moment?
Well, many years after my divorce, I met somebody, and we fell in love. And about 6 months into the relationship, it became abusive. So for the next 3 years, I was living in a domestic violence relationship.
What did he do?
Well, he would hit me. He would throw me against walls. He would knock me to the ground and kick me. He threw me out of a moving car one time. It was any little thing could set him off. I mean, no matter what I did, I was always at risk for him just going into one of his rages. But what happened was, after about 3 years, and it just progressively got worse, which is the case, I knew that it was getting to the point where he was going to kill me. And I had hidden a knife in every room in my house, thinking that, okay, if he goes after me in this room, at least I know where I can reach for a weapon, that I can protect myself. But the thought of actually using that weapon against another human being just sickened me. And then I had this visual one day of my daughter coming home from school and finding her mother lying on the kitchen floor dead in a pool of blood. And I thought, I can't do that to my daughter. That's insane. And it was at that moment that I said, I need to get out.
Now, when you found that internal strength, the thing that impresses me the most about you, you had the strength to move your life forward. But then not only did you do that for yourself, you have now taken that a step further to help other people. What did this teach you about all the different manifestations of anger within your ex-spouse and even in yourself, which is what you touch on so beautifully in your book?
Well, I was in therapy at the time when I was with my abuser, and my therapist put me in an anger management workshop that was 3 months long. And what I learned there literally changed my life. I learned that I had a lot more anger inside of me than what I had realized, because I was someone who always suppressed and denied my anger. I walked around with a smile and everything was fine. And I ended up developing an eating disorder as a result of that. But I also went through a period where I went to the extreme opposite, where I became very angry and hostile and aggressive, and I hurt a lot of people. So then I just went back to suppressing it. But what I learned was that there's many, many different ways that we manage our anger, and I didn't know the appropriate way of doing that. I learned that in the anger management workshop. What I learned from this whole experience, and I've learned this from all of the challenges that I faced in my life, is that every experience, particularly the hard ones, the difficult ones, the ones where there's a lot of unfairness or betrayal, though all of those experiences contain valuable lessons. And we are meant to learn from those experiences, not just to get out of them quickly, because that's what most of us want to do, but we're meant to actually learn and then apply those lessons to our own life so that we can enrich our lives and become a better person. But I took that one step further. I felt a moral obligation to take what I had learned and benefited from and share that with others. And that's actually how I got into this line of work of being a motivational speaker.
It's wonderful. You know, my mom always says that you are what you are today because of what happened to you yesterday. And I'm a firm believer of that. There are so many women out there, Janet, that are going through what you went through, and they don't have the strength you had. And who can blame them? Everybody has to handle their life the way they feel fit. What advice would you give somebody out there that maybe hears you and says, I don't have it, Janet?
Well, I would tell them that yes, you do. You have far more strength and courage inside of you than what you realize. And you have the ability to make it without your abuser, because a lot of women think that they can't make it on their own. But it's important, number one, that you have a good support system, whether it's family or friends or trained professionals. You also have to have a plan, an escape plan, and most women don't have that. So call your domestic abuse hotline, go to your police department. They will connect you with the proper resources that will get you out of that situation. Don't stay, because your life depends on it, and you deserve so much better.
Well, just a remarkable woman. I mean, you really, really are. You've moved both of us, and I'm sure a lot of the women at home who are watching are benefiting from everything that you're doing. And I want to make sure that everyone knows it's The Secret Side of Anger. This is what the book looks like. Grab it. I read it last night. It's just a fantastic, easy read, actually. It helps you in such a wonderful way, and it's not difficult to absorb all the information.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for what you've done.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure.
We really appreciate
Now,
it.
if you would like to read Janet's touching story and her words of wisdom, you can go to the website, her website.
PfeifferPowerSeminars.com. Again, PfeifferPowerSeminars.com.